In today's video, we are going to be talking about the relevance of looking after your immune system in the current times of the global pandemic of coronavirus. Let's have a look at these 4 simple but proven strategies that can immediately provide you with a good boost of your immunity, which is what we all need in these times because we are all home isolating, quarantining, and this is not our routine or normal self. So first thing is about diet. Now there's a lot that has been said about diet, about particular fruits and particular foods, but broadly speaking, I recommend a plant-based diet as far as possible. Whole food plant-based diet, which means fresh fruits, vegetables, whether you juice them, you cook them, whichever way it works for you. Berries, oranges are really beneficial, which fall into that category. But certainly the one that I've underlined in red is avoiding sugars, especially processed sugars, white sugar, and sugar is hidden in many of our food. So I'll leave it at that for now. Number 2 is exercise. Exercise is something which is, there are different concepts around it, but what I say is keep it simple for yourself. 30 minutes of exercise, mostly in the form of cardio. Weightlifting and resistance training has not necessarily been shown to boost your immune system. Cardio, preferably if you can go for a walk or a run or a cycle ride out in the nature, has got more benefit in boosting your immune system. All of this is relevant to your immune system. And the last important point about exercise is to preferably do it daily. Next is sleep. Friends, sleep is something that is not talked about much when it comes to talking about the immune system. 6 to 8 hours of sleep is crucial for the body to repair, regenerate, and regrow. I have discussed that on many occasions in my other videos. No screens is a very good strategy for at least 2 hours prior to going to sleep because, as we know, the blue light emitting screens, they disrupt the melatonin production in our brains, which is the sleep hormone. Then is no caffeinated drinks for 6 to 8 hours prior to going to bed. And the most important thing that I personally practice is either I meditate or I read something which is calming and soothing, or I might just listen to some soft music as well. But my preference is to read. Then the last thing, as far as these broad 4 categories are concerned, is to manage your stress. See, managing stress, and I've talked about this in a separate video, but stress management is crucial. It affects all aspects of our existence. My go-to tools are to use some form of a guided meditation. I also love engaging in my hobbies. This is the time to discover your hobbies and take out time for something that you may not have had a chance to look at, like music or reading or writing, whatever it may be for you. I love going out in nature, and that is my strategy number 3 to manage stress. Take a walk in the park or in the woods if you're lucky to be close to that kind of an environment, and especially if you are close to a water body like a waterfall or a lake. It's generally very, very relaxing and soothing for that. Then is the one thing that I've started doing a lot, especially when I call my close family members, and a lot of my close family members are they are overseas. So what I do is I'm using a lot more FaceTime calls rather than just audio calls. It brings a different level of connection. And the most important thing is not relying on stimulants like coffee or cigarettes and things like that. So those are my stress management strategies. But now let's delve straight into this vitamin that I'm talking about. And friends, the vitamin that I'm talking about, which is vitamin D, you guessed it right. Now, vitamin D has been popularly called the sunshine vitamin because we get it in its natural form from the sunshine when we are outside. But what is a surprising fact which not many people know is that up to 70% of the population is deficient in it, especially if you are living in the parts, geographical areas that are away from the equator. And these days, most of us are home isolating, and now there is a huge trend of using sunscreens and all of that, which is all something that compounds the whole effect of vitamin D deficiency. There are these common functions, the 4 key functions. Now, we all know of vitamin D equates to bone health, and that's where it stops for most of us. But that's not true. Vitamin D has got several other roles now, which is being shown by research. And this is not research from this year. We have known about this for many years now, but it's not much talked about. Bone health, I won't delve much into it because already a lot of us are aware of the role that vitamin D plays in producing or reducing the risk of osteoporosis. Brain health is a very important one. Studies have shown that it reduces the risk of progression of symptoms of multiple sclerosis and also depression, which is such a prevalent thing. Vitamin D has got a role in boosting your weight loss and improving your metabolism. And the most important one that I want to talk about today is that of immunity. Vitamin D has got a crucial role in maintaining the health of your immunity. Now, there are 2 key roles which it is playing, which are now evidence-based. We have got evidence to prove that it actually does that from our past experience with the SARS epidemic of flu or influenza. What the vitamin D does is, vitamin D specifically stabilizes the membranes of the B and the T lymphocytes. These are specific kinds of white blood cells, which are the first line of defense in our body. It also specifically affects the lining of the respiratory tract, and this is known by studies of individuals who had tuberculosis and SARS flu who were found to be deficient in vitamin D. So individuals who were deficient in vitamin D were at a higher risk of developing complications associated with tuberculosis and the SARS influenza pandemic. So the point is, how it functions is that both these things, when they are not functioning optimally, it leads to a condition called as the cytokine storm. Cytokine storm is nothing but, the simplest way to put it is that these are all inflammatory substances that are released into the bloodstream whenever there is overwhelming infection in the body. This storm is medically termed as ARDS, acute respiratory distress syndrome, which means that the individual struggles to breathe, the lungs fill up with fluid, and the individual needs to be put on artificial means of ventilation. This is, friends, something that happens most often when there is a COVID infection in an individual whose immunity is compromised. They land up with a respiratory infection leading to ARDS, which is where the only treatment is artificial ventilation by putting them on a mechanical ventilator. So there is enough evidence here for us to make sure that our vitamin D levels are updated, and we check them and we make sure that we are supplementing adequately. How do you do it? Well, first thing is you got to get your vitamin D levels checked. Vitamin D deficiency is if your blood levels are less than 50 nanomoles per liter. This is accepted pathological standard. Vitamin D dosing or supplementation is best and most effective when it is done either daily or weekly, rather than doing it as a bolus dose. Like some people take vitamin D as once a month, or they would take a bolus dose either as an injection or as a capsule. But the most efficacy has been found with daily or weekly dosing. The other thing is your daily requirement is about 1,000 to 2,000 international units per day. So what I recommend is that I get this once a week capsule which has got 7,000 international units, and I take it daily. So it's a once a week vitamin D3 capsule that you can get from the pharmacy, no prescription required, and I take it every day. I do get my vitamin D3 levels checked, and that's what I would recommend at least once in 3 months to make sure that you are optimally nourished as far as vitamin D3 goes. And the last thing is, it's a sunshine vitamin. Do make it a habit that you go out in the mornings or in the evenings when the sun is not that harsh and get some natural sunlight. Friends, what we get from the natural sunlight cannot match, or it cannot match what we are putting ourselves through by giving ourselves a pill. So make sure that you take the natural form of the vitamin D3, but you also top up your vitamin levels by taking a pill. I hope you found this video useful. If you liked it, please share it with your friends and do subscribe to my channel so that I can keep you updated with upcoming videos.